There are now at least 500 reports of abuse by the former BBC presenter Jimmy Savile, the youngest alleged victim just 2 years old. Leaked memos also reveal the extent of his influence at Broadmoor as he took control of the hospital with government approval.
The charges and the doctors were dead against it, but Jimmy Savile was Jimmy Savile. He could do anything.
We'll be looking at the new information ahead of a special panorama programme tonight. Also this lunchtime, police investigating the disappearance of Madeleine McCann start searching scrubland in the Algarve resort of Praia da Luz. Qatar's football bosses meet FIFA's investigator amid growing calls for them to be stripped of the 2022 World Cup. King Juan Carlos of Spain decides to abdicate after 39 years on the throne. He'll hand over to the crown to his son Felipe. And remembering Piper Bill 70 years after D-Day. The sound of the bagpipes that inspired the soldiers on the beaches of Normandy.
And coming up in the sport on BBC News, Southampton striker Ricky Lambert has signed a 2-year deal for his boyhood club. Liverpool have bought him for £4 million.
Good afternoon and welcome to the BBC News at 1. The number of reports of abuse by Jimmy Savile has gone...
Back to you, Simon.
John Kay, thank you very much. King Juan Carlos of Spain is to abdicate after 39 years on the throne. His son, Crown Prince Felipe, is to take over. The surprise announcement was made by the Prime Minister, Mariano Rajoy, in a nationwide broadcast this morning. King Juan Carlos, who's 76, has reigned since 1975. His earlier popularity has been overshadowed by numerous scandals in recent years. Our Europe correspondent Chris Morris reports.
¡Viva el rey! ¡Viva! ¡Viva España! ¡Viva!
Nearly 40 years ago, a young Juan Carlos ascended to the throne after decades of dictatorship under General Franco. The new king steered Spain towards a modern parliamentary system. Today he announced that he was stepping down, a meeting with the Prime Minister, the signature of this letter and a message for the Spanish people.
I'm grateful for the help you gave me in making my reign, which began so young and at such a difficult time, into a long period of peace, freedom, stability and progress.
This was perhaps the defining moment of Juan Carlos's reign. 1981, members of the paramilitary police seized control of the Spanish parliament. But the king who'd led the transition to democracy rejected any return to military rule. He appealed to the army and the people to oppose the coup, and it was defeated. His popularity soared.
I wasn't afraid because I knew what I had to do, and I wasn't afraid for Spain because I knew what the rest and what the whole majority of the armed forces and the people in general wanted and really needed for me to do that night.
In recent years, things have become more difficult. A corruption scandal involving his daughter, Princess Cristina, and her husband has damaged the image of the royal family. And the king himself was criticised when it was revealed he'd been on a lavish elephant hunting trip in Botswana at the height of Spain's financial crisis in 2012. It may all have played a role in his decision to step down. His son Prince Felipe, seen here after the birth of his second daughter in 2007, will succeed him. A new generation, King Juan Carlos said today, must now be at the forefront. But they won't forget the man who did so much to help create the modern Spanish state.
Well, Chris joins us from Brussels now. As you were saying at the end there, it's easy to forget just how he did transform Spain's relationship with the rest of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is easy to forget, but for a large portion of the 20th century, Spain was run by a military dictator, and when Franco died in 1975, many of his supporters expected the new king to essentially continue a military-friendly, very central statist system, and it quickly became apparent that he wasn't going to do that, and he was going to push for this transition to democracy. I think that is what he'll be remembered for. There's no doubt that in the last few years his popularity has fallen. He hasn't been in the best of health either, and both of those may have contributed to what officials in Madrid are calling his personal decision to step down. But I think going back over history, it is that role in ensuring democracy in Spain for which he'll be remembered.
Chris Morris, thank you very much.